Wordmachine, and an installment that is slightly driven by my muse. It's not a rambling vlog, because rambling is defined as often changing subjects not properly connected, and that's not the case. Instead, it's a perfect example of what this issue will be about: resolving questions with the book. Usually those are rules questions and the book is the Mark II Prime, but this time it's language questions and my book is the OALD, the Oxford Advanced Language Dictionary. Also leo.org and urbandictionary.com. And for visuals, I'll be breaking out a lot of pictures never used today and probably never to be used again, so you have something for the eye. Please listen closely and to the end, and if you think this issue is worth hearing, like it and share it. And now, enjoy. So let's hit the road. There are a number of words I heard in bed traps that I want to touch upon, that'll form the core of this issue. They are shimmy, shuffle and shenanigans. Other words featured will be cast and hovelnosh. Let me start, however, with a different one. Solecism. Solecism. Meaning A. Making a mistake in the use of language in speech or writing, and B. An offense against good manners or established acceptable behavior. What we're interested in, and what the reason for this issue is, of course, is A. Mistake in the use of language in speech or writing. And that, apparently, is not limited to grammatical mistakes, but also more general wrong usage of words in the wrong context. I've heard a number of solecisms during the time I made and watched battle reports, and frankly I've committed them myself. It would seem that, with more than 500 years of being around, people are thinking that good old good-natured English grammar would like some punishment. Or, as I read it somewhere else, ever since the dawn of the internet, Earth's rotation has mainly been fueled by English teachers spinning in their graves. So, the first and most pressing matter to me is the word cast, meaning A. To turn or send something in a particular direction. B. To throw something especially deliberately or with force, and several others. It's usually used in context with spells from any type of game with a setting featuring magic. In classic Latin, you also find it used when referring to what you do with dice. Alea jacta est, the die is cast. It's present in words like castaway. What has bugged me more recently is that people use casted as its past tense. As if cast was a regular verb. Let me tell you, it's not. N-O-T. The forms for past tense and past participle are cast as well. Cast, cast, cast. A true verb. I hereby plead to everybody listening to do it right. Please. Second, let's do shimmy. This one, often used to refer to minimal movement of models, the so-and-so shimmied over to the left, right, wherever, is actually not in the OALD. Why? Because it's not a verb. I found it on leo.org, but as a noun, describing a buffeting or wobble or similar. Research foo then uncovered that the word is actually derived from the name of a dance move in which the body is held still except for the shoulders, which are alternated back and forth. The shimmy is also a class of belly dance moves, though its execution apparently varies depending on a lot of factors. In general, though, it will manifest as a fast shaking or shuddering movement that can be rhythmic or arrhythmic. It may be localized or may be more loose, reverberating through the entire body. I reckon that is not exactly what people have in mind when they say their war beasts or jacks shimmy. It would be more accurate if they said is making a fool out of itself or is doing something looking funny. Third, shuffle. This one actually describes movement. In battle reports, usually little movements or slight repositionings. It also appears in the game Valkyria Chronicles, where it denotes movement that happens outside of your perception. The book says, shuffle. A. To walk by sliding along without lifting the feet completely off the ground. B. To change one's position or move one's feet about while standing or sitting because one is nervous, bored, etc. C. To mix up a pack of play cards before the game. D. to move things or people around to different positions. So the way that shuffle is mostly used in bad raps isn't quite correct, but it could easily be fixed by saying I shuffled the what's their names to make way for the thingamabob. It could also be used for describing troops that move forward very slowly. Moral just isn't high some days. Fourth, let's cover a word that has an awesome ring to it. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Cato players are probably thinking right now, oh, that's what Crix does. Or think of anything happening outside of activation. Well, the book says A. Secret or dishonest activity. B. Playful tricks, mischief. Check and check. Most players certainly have A in mind when they think of what the opponents or certain factions can do, and B when they think about their own repertoire. And Kader or Trollboard players are probably right with that perspective, I might dare to add here. I came across the fifth and last one back in the day when I was still young, inexperienced and browsing the Daka forums for 40k content, where I ran into the word Hoffelnosch. It's not in the OALD. I found it in a different online dictionary. It may sound funny, but when I give you the definition, you'll all be like, oh yeah, I know some examples of those. Here goes. Hoffelnosch. Noun. A debate, discussion, topic that resurfaces periodically with no change to anyone's opinion made or likely. Yeah, we've all seen our share of those. Privateer Press's Kader board was recently flooded with new players, and most of them wanted to go jack heavy, which spurned some not so nice reactions from people that said, forget about it, it can't be done, idiot. Which spurned reactions from people that say, it's the future, infinity spam is the losers. Which spurned reactions by the more moderate people that said, well, the combined arms approach has always been most successful, hasn't it? Frontlines were dug in, artillery was fired, gas was lobbed, and I reckon that a number of people were left shell-shocked from the responses they got. Just an example that struck me, I bet you have your own. Or take that never-ending Focus versus Fury debate. Hoffelnosches, the lot of them. And with that, I will close the book. I hope you liked it. Maybe it expanded your vocabulary. Maybe it clarified things. And maybe it even helped you realize, oh, I guess I used that wrong and should use other words in that place. I for one will smirk every time the word shimmy is used in Wordmachine, even if it happens to me. And with that, until next time, farewell.